Hi guys, how you all doing? Thank you so much for joining me here. So today's video reaction says Janet Jackson firstly said Kamala Harris is not black. Does it matter?
Superstar Janet Jackson just did a wide-ranging interview with British newspaper The Guardian.
Oh my god, Whoopi looks so beautiful. I must say she's aging gracefully. Oh wow.
But most of the focus is on when she was asked her thoughts on VP Kamala Harris possibly becoming the first black female president. She said, she answered by saying that she had heard that Harris's father was white, which we all know is false. And a staffer claims that he was fired for issuing an apology in her name and that her team certified he wasn't authorized to speak on her behalf. Now, Jackson has not responded to requests for comment, but no matter how you feel about celebs speaking out politically, is it okay for somebody to say, I don't know, I made a mistake?
Well, she hasn't said that she made a mistake. We don't know what she said because it's been one thing and another. Look, I think Janet Jackson, like every other American, whether you're a celebrity or not, has a right to endorse, support, or not support whomever they want. So she's got every right to not like Kamala Harris if she doesn't want to.
But that's not what she said.
What she doesn't know, what she did was spread misinformation. And I think it's very irresponsible when you have a platform the way Janet Jackson does to use that platform carelessly to spread misinformation based on a racist allegation by Donald Trump, right? It was Donald Trump who tried to say Kamala Harris just turned black. So let's just go through the 101. Kamala Harris is the daughter of two immigrants. Her mother is South Asian from India. Her father is black from Jamaica. Here is a picture for all of you who need, or for Miss Jackson, if you're nasty, here's the damn picture.
I feel like a picture of Kamala also would have done, Kamala Harris would have done the trick. I thought of it less from the perspective of Janet Jackson, who's an icon and I refuse to say anything bad about. Listen, we forget that we live in information silos. This is so different than how the media was even 10 years ago, where people largely got their news and their information from legacy media, where there was a level of objectivity and of fact-checking involved. So if you perhaps get, and I'm just saying this for an example, get all your news on Facebook and you lean right of center, that algorithm is monetized and going to tee up information that reinforces your own beliefs. If you're a Trump supporter online, you very likely won't encounter ever some of the worst things that he has said. The same does go for the left. I don't even know the partisan breakdown of what happened here, but my guess is she's not looking at great sources of media. And I say all this because it's why I try to not have judgment with Trump voters. Instead, I try to engage them, because I find people who are highly educated, highly successful, that support him, but they often don't know of some of the biggest scandals or the worst things that he's said about people or things that he's done. And I think if you take the judgment out and just kind of get back to facts and in trying to persuade people, it helps.
Well, this is the sorry, Sunny. This is the number one most severe warning in the short term we have globally. Misinformation and disinformation. The World Economic Forum said this is our greatest risk in the next few years, and it's not just this country, it's everywhere. And a few reasons. You mentioned that, you've got the algorithm, but you also have internal people like, Donald Trump, who ironically created or coined the term fake news, willingly and on the daily, it seems, perpetuating false stories on purpose. But then you also have foreign adversaries. We recently learned of Russia paying millions of dollars to content creators to keep them doing this. So the big message here is going back to like journalism 101 or just education 101, which is you never single source a story. When you're looking anywhere in journalism, we're always taught you have to back it up. In media, for as much flack as media gets for being leaning, we can get fired or in trouble for not being able to source where we got our story. But the other part of this story that bothers me is the whole identity issue. The fastest growing group in this country is
Is race supposed to be a subject of discussion in 2024? Why identifying her race so important here? It doesn't matter if she's white, if she's black. What they should be looking out for is her eligibility. Is she eligible to run for presidential election? Is she qualified to run for presidential election? If she is, you vote her. If she's not, vote in your credible candidates. Instead of discussing her race,
racial individuals, not bi, multiracial individuals. So asking people, what are you? My biracial friends always struggled with they weren't white enough or they weren't black enough, and they were always left in the middle. The middle is where the world is headed. And so we need to be more open about people's identities and what they identify as and have some grace.
Well, I do think you get to identify yourself, and being one of the multiracial people here at the table, I will say this. I would handle this the way Kamala Harris has, and that is to give it no air. I think Kamala is breaking barriers just by being in the room, regardless of whether Janet Jackson thinks she's black or white or Indian. The very fact that she is in the room deconstructs, in my view, the alleged societal norms that we've seen in the nearly 250 years of this country of what a presidential candidate looks like. And so I think that is what matters most. And I also think that when you are biracial or multiracial, you do get to identify yourself in any way in which you choose to identify yourself. Now, she has identified herself as a black woman. She has also said that her mother is Asian. She didn't just become black. And so it's unfortunate that Janet Jackson, an icon, admittedly said, I don't know, I haven't been reading the news these past few days. So I don't know if it comes from misinformation. I don't know if it comes from a lack of information. But all I know is that I don't want to give it this much air.
Well, unfortunately, no, hold on. Yeah, she's got a phone. Janet Jackson is not a political animal. Yeah. She does. She's a musician. Her life is doing this, and she's mourning her brother.
Now.
So
that's right.
I am. You know, I sometimes have said stuff, and you know I was wrong. But people want you to say something right away. You know, but when people are coming at you saying, "Hey, you're not paying. You're dumb. You don't know. You know, you don't want to answer people, especially if
and you're afraid you'll get it wrong and answer.
And it is a pain in the butt. I have to tell you. So sometimes people get it wrong, and they're wrong. They made a mistake. They were wrong. It happens. Anybody who says it doesn't happen to every one of us, multiracial or not, we all do it. So, okay, a little grace for the girl. A little grace for the girl, okay?
Sonny has said it all. I share the same view with Sonny. If Kamala says she's black, she's black. If she says she's white. No one can tell her story, her background better than her. Guys, I would like to have your opinion in the comment section. What do you think of this whole racial-ish